Hey guys, here is the weekly Spurs-Loan roundup delivered by me, Justin, known as @JJCoder on social media. Please drop us a follow, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to Harry Scarfe's channel. Let's get straight into it. I want to start with Alfie Devine. He played against Derby in their 1-0 loss, played the full game. From what we can see, that loan seems to be continually going well. There doesn't seem to be any major sort of issues with that. You'd like to think that with regards to his circumstances, either they will make it permanent or the fact that you will see a host of other clubs coming in for him. I'd be very, very surprised if he has a future at Spurs, basically. We then go on to Will Lancashire, and he played Bristol City, who that's a tough opponent. You know, they're doing well in the Championship, sort of up near the playoffs. A 0-0 draw with regards to that one. Unfortunately not scoring that game, but still not doing too badly, you know. And I think from the looks of the new manager they've got, Matt Bloomfield, you know, he will be a mainstay in that team. As far as Spurs are concerned, they're happy with how it's going. He seems to be achieving, if not exceeding, the targets they set out. So let's hope that that will continue throughout the remainder of the season. That obviously also includes then Jamie Donnelly, because he's at Oxford as well. He unfortunately wasn't in the squad, and from what we understand, that was with regards to the recovery from an injury he got against MK Dons. He sort of had an awkward fall, and I think they just want to be a bit cautious with regards to him. So we'll just have to wait and see, and whether he'll play the next game or not. So obviously then you've got Yang Min Hyuk. He was an unused sub. It's a tough one, that, because you'd like to hope he will get more minutes. And obviously the difficulty was he sort of played against Stoke in the FA Cup, and they lost that game. So you just worried, and that was always my worry with him going to somewhere like Coventry. Yes, they'd probably play a style of football that will suit him more. The fact of it being is that they're going to try and push to get into the Premier League. So are they going to risk him as much as perhaps Spurs would have liked? I'm not so sure with that one. We'll have to wait and see. He might, though, get a game today because obviously the quick turnaround of fixtures. We'll just have to wait and see with regards to that. You've then got Ashley Phillips, and another clean sheet at Stoke. He is absolutely flying there. They are doing really well. He's putting himself into a very interesting position. I sort of sat there and thought, will that be someone that Spurs will cash in on? It's hard to tell really with that, because he is doing really, really well. And I think the difficulty is they don't want to fall into the trap they did with Tanganga, where they sort of let him go. Millwall picked him up and then sold him for 10 million quid. You know, that was a real sort of missed opportunity for Spurs with that one. So I think that is one that will get reviewed in the summer, whether he'll come back or whether they'll sell him. I don't think there'll be another loan. I think it will be either he's integrated back or he's sold. Obviously, though, that is going to be interesting because we've got quite a few centre-backs soon that will be on the books with regards to it. Who knows? I mean, if he carries on the way he's going, maybe they'll bring him back. I don't know with that one. So we're then going on to, in that game, it was although it was a 0-0 draw against QPR, but another clean sheet with regards to it. So absolutely flying. You then got Luka Vuskovic. Was meant to play 2 games, but their first game against Bayer Leverkusen was postponed. So obviously that will be set back up again at some point. You then, obviously, with regards to that, hope that he will be able to continue his good form, because He then played the full game in their 0-0 draw against Borussia Mönchengladbach, which I will mention again a bit later on. And obviously, that's another clean sheet with regards to it. So, he's flying, absolutely flying. And obviously for Spurs, it's going to be an interesting one with that, because they can't send him out on another loan. With regards to it, it will be a case of that he has to be integrated with it, because so many clubs are circulating now for him, with the way that is going. You'd like to think he will come back. Obviously it'd be interesting to see who's actually manager at that time and where he will fit in with it, but doing brilliantly with regards to it. You then got Manor Solomon, and with regards to him, obviously he's only doing substitute appearances at the moment, but Fiorentina are picking up. They were rock bottom, and they're picking up points now. They got he came on as a 72nd minute sub in their 2-0 win, and you'd like to think that will get made permanent if they stay up. I cannot see him coming back to Spurs. I think the deal was for 10 million euros. I think that gets activated, if I'm honest. I'd be stunned if it doesn't, especially if they stay up from there. Then we have Mikey Moore, who was a 71st minute sub in their 5-0 win against Annan Athletic. That to me sort of felt like it was he's more important for the first team, so we don't really want to be giving him too much with regards to it. Danny Roll and Rangers are flying at the moment. They're now back in the title race. Is he going to want to risk anything with regards to that? We then have Kota Takai. Bit of a mixed one for him. He came on as a second half sub in the first game where they were playing Hoffenheim. They lost 5-1, but by the time he came on, they were 4-0 down. So you kind of have to take the any sort of benefits with that. He was in a difficult position. So for the half he played, it was technically 1-1. So, but he did then come on as an 88th minute sub in the 0-0 draw against Hamburg. It's going to be an interesting one there as to how many minutes he's going to play. I think if he gets more and that becomes more consistent, then, Spurs will review it from there, really. As I say, we're going to be influxed with centre-backs soon. So it'll be interesting to see how the summer sort of sets out there. We've then got Damola Ajay. He recently just joined Bromley, so he wasn't in the squad for the Chesterfield game. Hopefully we will see him getting better minutes than what he was getting at Doncaster. It just wasn't working there at all. So hopefully that will progress further. We've then got Tyrese Hall. Difficult one for him because, they've had so many games postponed. So it was a case of having to get back into it. He was a 72nd minute sub in their 2-1 win against Crawley. And you sort of hope from there that is something that will, get him back to where he was, because he was absolutely flying there as well. So hopefully, that will go well. So we'll just have to wait and see with that. And then I just want to finish off with Oliver Iro. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong. He came on as a second half sub for Mansfield against Port Vale and just smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. He scored 2 goals, one of which, if you haven't seen it, you've got to see it, where he just cuts in from the wing and he just curls it into the top corner, giving the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. It was absolutely stunning with that. As debuts go, you couldn't have asked for anything better. And I hope that they will then give him more minutes, because he's putting himself out there. That is a statement debut to make with regards to it. So, absolutely fantastic. I do expect maybe a few more players to go out on loan. Obviously, the injury crisis that we've got at the moment, culminating with the fact that we might have a different manager. I'm hoping so, but that's for a different video altogether. So obviously we will see how that pans out for him. But let us know what you think. You know, what did you rate of the players that went out on loan? Let us know in the comments. And obviously, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Harry Scarfe's channel. Follow myself at Twitter, at JJ Coder. I'm on Instagram as well. And as always, come on, you Spurs.